was hot and spicy.
Hey, what's up, pups? Welcome back to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. It's a podcast that talks about pop culture. Tightening my mic here. And we take a look at the good, the bad, the ugly, and even sometimes the spiritual that takes place in there as well. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight on this cold Thursday here in Texas because it actually snowed. Insane. I left Illinois. Why I have to be dealing with snow still, it's beyond me. Just checking real quick to make sure we are good to go on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Looks like we are. Good to know. I've been chat with Rumble Studios because their ingress, which allows me to use OBS, has been sucking lately, and hopefully everything here is solid and it looks to be. If you enjoy the show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube and Rumble. And if you are on X, feel free to give me a follow if you want. Do I have like a banner? I should start using like, I have this, but that's very basic. But in any case, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to give me a follow over on X/Twitter if you want to. And then in the link tree that's listed in the bio on X and in the descriptions of YouTube and Rumble, you can check out my other social media as well, pretty much like Instagram, Odyssey, which I hardly use anymore, and other stuff, mostly on X or here on YouTube. We do a show, like I said, called the Power Up Podcast. That's this show, whether with a guest or me solo, looking at what's happening in the old pop culture area. The goal being to keep ourselves up to date in terms of, again, what's good, what's bad, but hopefully trying to rekindle that dying flame of nostalgia and being entertained for entertainment's sake, because it is being snuffed out by woke bullshit. And all I want, is to be entertained, for it to go back to the good old days, where, you could take a chance and do something crazy. And if it doesn't work out, so what? I like to think that, your 80s, 90s, early 2000s were the best times. And, just fun reminiscing about those days. So we got good chunk of stuff to talk about. There's more Nintendo Switch leaks. I guess Nintendo Switch 2. We've got the big one, which is Assassin's Creed Shadows, again being delayed. Because I guess Ubisoft, I've stated in past shows, Ubisoft, like, they are taking that mantle of wanting to burn to the ground, like, to heart. And I foresee this happening quicker than I think what a lot of people might not seem to kind of get. That made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Never mind. Pretty much what I'm saying is, out of all the AAA studios that apparently are willing to just cater to the bunch of weirdos out there and lose money and essentially probably crash and burn, Ubisoft, I think, has taken that mantle. That is what I'm trying to say. So we'll look into that and the reasoning why they're delaying it. And we've got some other articles here too. So let's hop in. Wabam. One of the main things that are happening right now is the Hollywood and California is burning down. This is coming from that Park Place. The wildfires are just decimating a lot of people's homes. And, it's a lot of people are obviously sympathetic towards, the people who live there, who obviously, like kids, stuff like that, kids, elderlies, people who just want to live, that are living over in California. Obviously, it sucks that, they're losing a lot of house and homes and materials in terms of like memories, maybe, family heirlooms passed down to generations. That sucks. And I pray that, they, you know, every, hopefully nobody dies, but I think I've read that there's like at least 10 people that are dying. But it's also one of those things too where people are talking about, well, this is what happens when you vote, DEI, your retarded liberal democratic bullshit nonsense of extremeness from the left side. This is what happens. This is what these people have sowed, and now they're reaping the consequences of it. That because all of this could have been prevented. Now that might seem kind of harsh thing to say. Like I said, obviously, it's becoming very conflictive because there are certain people out there who have no sympathy to anybody, in terms of what's happening over in Cali, especially to the celebrities who, oh my goodness, your $1 million mansions burned down, boo hoo, sort of thing. And it's insanity that it's come to this. But if you read the scripture, it's only going to get worse, by the way. And you can have sympathy for the people who didn't ask for any of this too. But I for one, am one of the people that, it's for the people that voted, people like Gavin Newsom, who did not prepare for these wildfires that you've seen clearly happen throughout, throughout time, and you're not prepared for it. This is what happens when you vote pieces of shit like that. This is what happens. And part of me was thinking, that a lot of the people who are saying, why make this political? Everybody's being hurt, so you shouldn't be XYZ. These are the same people that when the hurricane happened, they didn't care what happened there. So, it's kind of, again, it's the reaping of what you've sowed sort of thing. And to me, like I said, scripture-wise, this is only going to get worse, and there's going to be a lot more fires happening than just wildfires happening when the good Lord comes back. But in any case, so Hollywood is burning down. Massive fires threaten to consume famed landmarks as Los Angeles blaze rages. That sucks. So you can see, dang. So Los Angeles is in the grip of a catastrophic wildfire crisis with blazes sweeping through multiple neighborhoods, threatening both lives and iconic landmarks. Among the fires wreaking havoc in the newly ignited Sunset Fire, which broke out in Runyon Canyon near the Hollywood Hills on Wednesday evening. Fire's proximity to famed tourist destinations has raised alarms throughout the city. Dang, look at that. That is crazy. That picture. Sunset Fire erupted around 5:30 p.m. Wednesday, sending flames dangerously close to cultural staples such as the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the Magic Castle, and then Hollywood Bowl, Private Magicians Club, the Comedy Store, the TCL Chinese Theater, the El Capitan Theater, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel are among the landmarks under threat. Universal Studios Hollywood is closed for the second day in a row as the flames creep closer to it as well. Here's your Hollywood Bowl post right here. Shared its evacuation efforts on X. Due to the Sunset Fire, we have received evacuation orders, and all Hollywood Bowl staff have safely evacuated the premises. We extend our deepest gratitude to the firefighters who are working tirelessly to protect our community. Yeah, props out to the firefighters for sure. While some evacuation orders were lifted late Wednesday night, areas north of Franklin Avenue remain closed as fire crews work to ensure that the fire does not reignite in the surrounding vegetation. Residents returning home were urged to exercise caution as firefighters continue to operate. And apparently the Sunset Fire, which has consumed 60 to 100 acres as of late Wednesday night, prompted evacuation orders covering a wide swath of Hollywood, including areas from Laurel Canyon Boulevard to 101 Freeway and Mulholland Drive to Hollywood Boulevard. Meanwhile, other fires across Los Angeles, including the Sun-Swept Fire in Studio City, several major blazes in Pacific Palisades, continue to devastate communities. And then the Sun-Swept Fire began inside a Studio City home quickly spreading to nearby houses and brush. Firefighters contained most of the blaze by 10 p.m., but the threat to neighborhoods persists. Wow. And then the Hollywood fires began in Pacific Palisades on Tuesday morning, forcing the evacuation of more than 30,000 residents. So far, the fire has burned through 15,800 acres, leaving a staggering toll of destruction. In total, over 1,000 structures have been delayed across Los Angeles County, and the death total has climbed to 5. Well, I thought I read somewhere that it's now at 10, unfortunately. And then I've also seen like State Farm, the whole thing with that of them supposedly canceling people's policies, but it might be to where they just didn't renew them, is what I've heard other people explain. It's crazy. This chaos is crazy. And like I said, scripture-wise, it's only going to get worse because we're getting close to the end times. And this is what you probably could classify as a birthing pain, like what the scripture talks about in turns. These birthing pains are going to get worse, and they're going to get closer together where it's going to happen on a worldwide scale. So, it definitely makes you think of kind of like, what your priorities are, and that like this could happen to anybody in any state at any time. So among the homes destroyed are those of numerous celebrities. Again, Billy Crystal. Well, I say again, but this is the first time I'm reading it, so I don't know why I'm saying that. You got Billy Crystal, Mandy Moore, Paris Hilton, Eugene Levy, Anna Faris, and Diane Warren. And then the National Weather Service warned the conditions remain critical. Critical fire weather will last through Friday for portions of LA and Ventura counties, including major wildfire locations such as Eaton Fire, the Palisades fire, and then the Hearst fire. Gusty winds and very dry conditions will continue to fuel fire starts and existing fires. And then the Sunset Fire has drawn particular attention due to its proximity to Hollywood landmarks. Hollywood Bowl, Magic Castle came perilously close to flames, though quick actions by staff and firefighters reportedly kept it safe. Social media posts showed residents and fans anxiously monitoring the situation. Famed Hollywood sign is not currently in danger, as the blaze would have to cross over a freeway to reach it, and any images of the Hollywood sign ablaze are fake. Oh, well, I haven't seen those images yet. And then Runyon Canyon, popular hiking destination with sweeping views of Los Angeles, was also engulfed in flames. The area is a hotspot for both local and tourists, often frequented by Hollywood stars. And then firefighters are currently battling 6 separate blazes across Los Angeles County, including Eaton, Hearst, Lydia, and Woodley fires. With critical fire conditions expected to persist through Friday, residents remain on high alert, and first responders are working around the clock to protect lives and property from these Hollywood fires. Well, prayers going out to, the innocents out there too. Again, this situation can be very conflicting for some because a lot of people are very upset and angry because the people who are now, being affected by these fires are people who did not care at all when the hurricane happened. And now they're saying, don't make this political, because Trump made a comment about it, about, this is, but I agree with Trump. This is the responsibility of the people who you got, people over there probably elected. This is what happens. And he warned about making sure that you prepare yourself for this. And I wouldn't, and for me, for example, I was during that cold front in Texas down here when our electric grid got knocked out. Like, why would you not prepare for that? Like, who cares if the chance of, snow and stuff, which it snowed today, it's probably going to be gone by tomorrow. You still should prepare for it, even if it's a rare occasion, always be prepared. But that, thus is life, and it's absolutely crazy that it's happening. Speaking of Hollywood, this was kind of something that people are kind of going, ugh, like, I don't want to see this happen. That's Wicked star Cynthia Erivo. or however you want to pronounce it, eyes Storm role in MCU, but her history of a fan blaming Fitz could create another Marvel identity politics disaster. And yes, I think this person is cringe beyond belief, insane. I mean, just look at that, like reeking DEI, woke insanity. Cynthia Erivo, known for her roles in Wicked and Harriet. I only know of her of Wicked. I don't even know Harriet. Recently expressed a desire to play Storm in Marvel's upcoming X-Men reboot. Please, for the love of God, do not get casted. While Marvel fans have been eager to see who will take on the mantle of this iconic character, Cynthia Its public push for the role comes at a time when Marvel Studios is battling significant public backlash, with the declining box office numbers and growing fan resentment over its perceived prioritization of identity politics over quality storytelling. The last thing Marvel needs is an actor with Erivo's contentious reputation. When asked what dream role she wanted to manifest, the controversial Wicked star immediately noted that she wanted to play Storm. I really want to play Storm, she said. I know it sounds frivolous, but I think we haven't uncovered how grand she is and all of that inner turmoil that she has. So I think that there's a world where we could, I don't know, do something with that. I doubt she even knows Storm's background, to be honest. Is she a comic book person? She doesn't scream like that. I know I'm not, but I feel this is just empty fluff talk to hopefully maybe catch someone's attention, to be like, But like the article points out, again, an article from that Park Place, fans aren't really looking for people like her to represent a character that, people would. I think Storm is badass. Like, Storm is awesome. And I liked, what was her name? Halle Berry. I liked her back in the day when she was Storm. But I mean, you look at this and do you ask yourself, like, yeah, she can totally be Storm? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Cynthia has developed a reputation for being polarizing, particularly due to her frequent clashes with fans and her insistence on injecting discussions of race, sexuality, and identity into every aspect of her career. Her online interaction has often been combative, with the actress taking fans to task for even the slightest criticism. One notable example was her harsh reaction to a fan-edited poster. I was going to say posted. A Post-it note. No, it was a fan-edited poster of Wicked. Instead of engaging constructively or ignoring the artwork, she publicly chastised the fan, calling the edit deeply hurtful and, quote, the wildest, most offensive thing she had ever seen. And with that, I can say, well, not me. I think Pigeon from Mike Tyson Mysteries has a good response for her.
Go yourself.
Yeah, I saw that post, and it's not offensive at all. If anything, it was combining the Broadway poster with the movie poster together and kind of giving a tip of the hat to that. Like the narcissism, like the fact that it's, comments like these just showcase on how narcissistic these weirdos are. Because any sort of, criticism, or even a fan edited poster. So the person who made it could have been like, I'm super excited to see this and the people involved. How would you like that? You made it and you're like, oh, I think everyone's going to like it. And then this bitch comes out and just like, it's deeply hurt. It's like, shut the fuck up. Oh my gosh. Because she got mad because the lips were made red, because I think that's what the poster was. This doesn't even make sense either. Like, why would her lips be green too? Like, people's lip color aren't just all the same, skin color sort of thing. Even the Joker, his lips turned red. Kind of a weird example, but She's openly stated that her performances are heavily influenced by her personal identity, which has led to accusations of self-centeredness. Critics argue that this tendency detracts from her ability to fully embody characters, as her focus often seems to be on promoting herself rather than respecting the essence of the role she portrays. Storm is one of Marvel's most cherished characters, a powerful mutant with a deep, rich backstory rooted in her African heritage. Fans have long held her in a high regard, not only for her abilities, but also for her leadership qualities, moral compass, and nuanced character development. Casting an actor who brings personal controversy and divisive politics to the role risks overshadowing everything Storm represents. Yes, and if she did get the role, she would want to bring in her identity to the character, like what she clearly says that she does, which doesn't make any sense. It's one thing to draw from as an actor. It's one thing to kind of draw maybe a scenario or a situation that you were involved in from the past to utilize that, or to insert certain elements like, you know, attitude or character or like traits into a character. But ultimately the character should have, like, is already established of having XYZ and stuff. And if you're a good actor, you should be able to put aside your specific stuff. Like, your traits should be very, very little inside of a character to embody it, you know? Like, there's one thing to be a method actor, but like to go like, you know, Jared Leto retardedness is absolutely stupid. But a good actor knows how to switch it on and off. They'll sprinkle in a little bit of themselves in there, but ultimately you want to portray your character and hope that the audience gets lost in the fact that, oh yeah, that XYZ is playing this character. You know, that should be the ultimate goal for every character, you know, actor and actress out there, is that if you can do that, you've done a good job, sort of thing. But yeah, but when you're doing this and you're going, not only am I going to interject what my personal ideology into this character that may have nothing to do with it whatsoever, but I'm also going to bring in, you know, identity politics, race, and XYZ into it. I was going to say racist, but chances are she's probably like one of the biggest racists out there too, because that always seems to be the case. Anybody who is so obsessed over identity, race, and all that stuff usually end up being the most racist people of all. And I do agree with what this article said, that it does turn into self-centeredness. Like, that's exactly what it is. So instead of celebrating the character's legacy, the focus could shift to Erivo's polarizing persona and history of fan alienation, much like Marvel experienced with Brie Larson in the Captain Marvel franchise. Marvel Studios cannot afford to take such a risk right now, with fans already pissed off. I changed frustrated to pissed off because it sounds cool. I don't know why, but I did. By the studio's missteps, such as the disastrous reception to the Marvels and the ongoing criticism of poorly written narratives, the studio should prioritize actors who will unite the fanbase and bring a respectful approach to their roles. Storm deserves an actress who understands the importance of the character, not someone likely to make the role about themselves or their personal identity. So Marvel is currently in the midst of a significant identity crisis. What was once a studio celebrated for its ability to tell universally compelling stories has become a punching bag for fans and critics alike. The introduction of divisive identity politics into nearly every aspect of its production has alienated large segments of its audiences. Recent projects such as The Eternals, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law has been criticized for prioritizing messaging over substance, resulting in declining viewership and returns. And then adding someone like Cynthia Erivo to the mix would only exacerbate these issues. Her tendency to engage in public disputes and center herself in controversies could further damage Marvel's already fragile. Okay, so now we're kind of repeating the same point here. And then even with Storm's just on another character, she's an icon. We kind of get that already from up above. And then mishandling her could cause a history of fan alienations. Why is there a pixie of Darcy and Howard the Duck in Marvel's What If? I don't know. So for Marvel to regain its footing, it needs to focus on what made the MCU successful in the first place. Strong storytelling, respect for its characters, and a community to entertaining its audience. I would even say, and I know some people wouldn't want it just because you don't want it leaking in and poisoning in, but hell, you could even an actor or actress that can, even if they're the biggest libtard ever, if they have the ability to at least switch it off and at least respect the story material, that's one thing. Because then doing that at least can help you separate the actor from the character they're playing. The biggest prime example would probably be Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, awesome character in the story. The acting of Mark Hamill is really solid in those with the Joker and stuff like that. Mark Hamill as a person, though, the poster child of Trump deranged syndrome. Casting decisions should be based on the actor's ability to embody the character without bringing unnecessary baggage. I agree. That would be called, casting someone based on their ability and merit. But we all know that because apparently there's this grave injustice, like with, the poor representation of Black people and women in Hollywood to get their chance to be at the table, as some people say, is supposedly so terrible that we have to give these handouts to them. We just have to. And of course, the people who a lot of times claim that are like white, powerful people in control. And I'm sure they would give up their position to preach what they, practice what they preach. I'm just sure they would. So that's the end of that article. But yeah, I think she would be personally a terrible Storm for that exact reason. So this caught my eye. This comes from a Video Game Chronicle, and that is Shadow of the Colossus movie is apparently not abandoned by any means. IT and the Flash director says he still wants to make a Shadow of the Colossus film. Director attached to a Shadow of the Colossus movie adaptation for over a decade has said the project could still see the light of day. And then they first announced to bring Team Echoes, a celebrated PS2 game, to the big screen way back in 2009. I think this would be an awesome movie to have. But little has been heard about the project in the years since Andres Muschietti, or I guess I said IT, probably it's just it. The Flash Mama was confirmed to be helming it in 2014. However, Andre recently provided a positive update on the film in an interview with an Argentinian radio station. The film has been in development for 10 years, and now the possibility of making it opens up, he told Radio TU, according to Reconectos, translated the gamer. Muschietti claimed it wasn't an abandoned project by any means, adding, "I love that film. There's a script that I like a lot." However, he acknowledged that securing his desired budget for the project remained an obstacle. Yeah, I mean, to showcase all the Colossus and all their glory, or would it be Colossi? Because there's more than one. That would definitely require a nice budget. There are factors that have nothing to do with your hobby and desire to make it, but with how popular an intellectual property like this is, he said. Shadow of the Colossus is a cult game, but to make a good film, there's a studio that puts the numbers and says how much it is worth to give the director, 200, 150, or $100 million. There are different versions of the film, and obviously I want them to give me 200 million, but this is another factor to take into account. Sony announced 2 new movies based on popular PlayStation games this week. During the company's 2025 CES press conference on Monday, it was revealed that films based on Helldiver and Horizon Zero Dawn are coming. And then on my show on Tuesday, we talked about how we saw Ghost of Tsushima Legends anime adaptation is coming. And then that's going to be debuted in 2027. And then, of course, you got your live action Last of Us show. And it has been confirmed for season 2 coming around April, apparently. I would love to see a Shadow of Colossus game. I think that would be sick. And if they could get the visual... That one definitely one that I would probably lean more towards making sure it visually looks good. Because to see those Colossus and have that integrated with that scale size with a real person, a real kid, that would be absolutely insane. And you would want to make sure it's like as perfect as possible. But now we are jumping on over into more leaks for the Nintendo console. We might see a lot of the repeating same messages. I got articles here from Video Game Chronicle, that Park Place. Check it out. I think they'll stop making it, but I found little mini Oreo Coca-Cola. Like, they were so good when they were around, like during Christmas time in November, but now they're gone. But I happened to find like 3 not so much cases, but those little package in like with bottles, like 6-pack, mini 6-pack of this at a Walgreens. Getting close to that expiration date, but still tastes good. So Reliable Tech Leaker posts a 360 degree render of Nintendo's new console. So the Switch 2 leak continue as a render of the alleged full system is posted online. And this apparently comes from a reliable leaker. And apparently this leak claims it's the most accurate look yet at the Switch 2. And I have another article that it could be very possible that it is indeed called just the Switch 2. According to On Leaks via 91 Mobiles, who have a history of posting accurate renders of unreleased tech, such as previous Samsung phones, Pixel devices, the system will feature an 8.4-inch screen, 1.4-inch larger than the Nintendo Switch OLED, as previously reported has suggested. And it will also feature a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, as well as a USB-C port on the top. This will allow the system to be charged in a tablet top mode, something that isn't possible in the current generation of hardware. The renderer also features a sensor, the use of which is currently unknown. And then this is the latest in the deluge of alleged information to be released about Nintendo's next console, all of which comes before Nintendo has officially announced the system. So we'll just click this open. Here you go. I want to say, let's see, my Switch is right here. It looks a lot more. Yeah, the corner radius looks a lot more. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, it looks a lot more, especially on the bottom. Like, it's a lot more curvy. I don't know. I don't know if I held that up like well enough in the camera, so you may not have seen it. But I think like it looks. Yeah, definitely the radius of the corners and stuff look a lot more broad, I guess you could say. So we got that. There's your magnet Joy-Cons, which apparently you push this and that pops it off. Got your built-in stand. Might even be thinner too. I mean, if I were to get this, I would probably get rid of my other Nintendo Switch, because that's the other thing that people are talking about too. Like, if this is it, if this is literally just a bigger screen for the Nintendo Switch 2, like, you got to sell us more than just that. Like, I don't know if I would want to drop, maybe double what the original Switch is just to have a bigger screen. Like, magnetized like Joy-Cons, to me, I'm like, cool, that's cool, but whatever, I don't care. But I don't know. I guess we'll learn more when it finally becomes announced. So in just this last week, accessory listings have confirmed details about the system's memory compatibility as well as potential mouse-like functions in the Joy-Cons. Last week, supposed images of Switch 2's Joy-Con made their way online. If authentic, they corroborated previous claims that the Joy-Cons of the Switch 2 will be slightly larger and feature a magnetic connection. And at CES this week, accessory maker Genki has been showing off what it claims to be an accurate replica of the system ahead of an alleged April 2025 launch date. And then VGC reported in the summer of 2023 that Nintendo's next console was already in the hands of key development partners and is targeting a launch the following year. Thought to have been delayed internally to avoid shortages. That would be the system, and it's now widely expected to hit shelves this year. So speaking of the accessory, an accessory maker claims, and this also comes from Video Game Chronicle, accessory maker claims Switch 2 Joy-Cons will have a hidden feature, and that is the supposed mouse support. And then last year, Switch 2 shipping data appeared online, which appeared to refer to, quote, mouse parts, seemingly pointing to its functionality. Now, this week at CES, an accessory manufacturer who is exhibiting a 3D printed Nintendo Switch 2 is claiming that the final console will indeed include mouse functionality via the controllers. Does that mean we get to play Mario Paint again? Speaking to The Verge, again, Genki CEO Eddie Tasai claimed that an optical sensor, which could be used for mouse functionality, is housed within the mounting channel of the Joy-Cons. Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company has committed to do so during its current fiscal year, which we've read plenty of times. That would be March 31st, so in about 2 months. And then we literally just read this exact same information. And then Switch 2 leaks have been ramping up in recent months as third parties come into contact with the console, which is likely currently in mass production. Last week, supposed images of the Joy-Con made its way, and then, it showcased it's going to be larger, magnetic, all that stuff. So yeah, we're at the point where we're just going to probably be, repeating some, basic information. But based on all this hype and all this leaks that are coming out, Nintendo Switch 2 is apparently suspected to sell 4.3 million units in the U.S., I guess, just the U.S. in 2025, analyst forecast. Circana expects PS5 to outsell Nintendo Switch in 2025, though. So Nintendo Switch 2 will sell over 4 million units in the United States in 2025 if it's released in the first half of the year. That's according to Matt Piscatella, executive director of video games and market research firm Circana, who published the sales forecast on Blue Sky on Wednesday. Blue Sky. Oh my gosh. Despite anticipating a strong start for the console, the analysts expected that the PS5 to be this year's best-selling console in the US. But why though? Because the games for the PS5 isn't that strong. I'm wondering. I guess we'll read on and see what his reasonings. Seeing as how an announcement appears to be coming soon, but who knows? I have Nintendo's next hardware device selling 4.3 million units in the US in 2025, assuming 1H launch, accounting for approximately 1/3 of all video game console hardware units sold in the year, excluding PC portables, he wrote. Expecting to see hardware constraints for several months after a significant early demand surge, and units sold will, of course, be dependent upon manufacturing capabilities and will. I still expect the PlayStation 5 to rank first in overall hardware units in the US during the year, he added. Circana plans to release a full 2025 outlook piece later this month after it publishes December sales data for the US market on January 23rd. The company reported last month that Nintendo Switch had surpassed the lifetime sales of Sony's PS2. With its 46.6 million units sold life to date, Switch now ranks 2 in the all-time units sold across all video game hardware platforms in the US, trailing only Nintendo DS. Piscatella said at the time. Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company is committed to do so during its fiscal year. And then again, Genki has been showing off what he expects to be a replica of the system. And apparently the Switch 2 logo may also have leaked this week. I believe I have that article up here as well. And that is because Universal Nintendo editor-in-chief Necro Felipe Lima claims to have seen the logo after being sent a photo of the unannounced console from a reliable source. Based on what he saw, he's claimed to have precisely recreated the logo and published it online. And waboom. There it is. Just take that, make the font bigger so that you can slap on a 2. If genuine, it doesn't stray far from the existing Switch logo, which would line up with reports that the console is an iteration of the existing hardware design rather than a brand new concept. Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor. And again, we've read this. Yeah, now we're repeating into it. Down to that. Wow, they are really padding these articles here. I don't know. Could they have made something clever than just throwing a 2 like on there? Like what could be a clever thing? Trying to think. Like maybe make the C a 2, like put the 2 where the C is, maybe. Or no, the S, because a 2 kind of, it looks like a backwards S. But people could possibly understand that. That would have been pretty clever. Although that would be, then it would say 2 which. I don't know. Unless you flip the 2 around to make it look like an S. I don't know. But, you know, companies are going that really stupid, simplistic sort of way, like less is more sort of thing, which I do agree. But I mean, if you could make something very clever, like that's a wholly, excuse me, another different thing. So I do have that Park Place article here, which apparently Nintendo Switch 2 reportedly revealed by accident as accessory maker spills Nintendo's biggest secrets. So I'm wondering if that's talking about the mouse. So the Nintendo Switch 2 may have been revealed this week due to a mistake by an accessory maker. Nintendo is renowned for its secrecy when it comes to new hardware, but even the best kept secrets can slip through the cracks. And as we read so many times, Genki may unintentionally revealed the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2, showcasing prototypes of accessories designed for an unreleased Nintendo console. His presentation has sparked a frenzy of speculation. With these leaks aligning close with previous rumored Switch 2 features, it's hard to dismiss this as a mere coincidence. And then the leak unfolded when attendees noticed that the 3D printed prototypes Genki displayed on the showroom floor resembled nothing currently available in Nintendo's lineup. Attendees with sharp eyes and even sharper knowledge of game rumors connected the dots quickly. While Genki stopped short of confirming the hardware details, its showcase offered enough clues to get fans buzzing. A bigger and better screen, and we've read that before. The leaked prototype is an 8.4-inch display, and which is step up from the old 7-incher. Speculation pointed this to being an full LED display as well, which would continue Nintendo's focus on delivering vibrant visuals. A larger screen means more real estate for gaming on the go, further solidifying the Switch's hybrid identity as both a portable and home console. This enhancement could prove vital as Nintendo aims to stay competitive against devices like the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally, which already offers larger display and beefier hardware. Yeah, I was reading about that too. Like, I mean, at this point, with the Asus ROG Ally. Like if you could connect like and emulate everything, then yeah, then why even get the Switch 2 if you can already have it on the go, or you can make it easier to connect it up and then play, from your cloud or whatever and stuff. But again, I also like to try to physically own whatever it has. Like I don't mind if I can physically own something, and then if I rip it later or do something and then get rid of that later, then I still have my copy. So again, from his replica, we're getting the magnetic Joy-Cons, and we've already read about this. I'm just wondering if there's anything new. Oh, here we go. Something interesting down here. I did notice right away. This mentions the new button. Speculation ranges from enhanced system shortcuts to new gameplay feature. Yeah, I saw the mysterious button. Saw one recently that it was like the letter C was it or something. Dual USB-C ports and enhanced docking options. One of the most striking elements of the leaked prototype is the inclusion of a USB-C ports on both the top and bottom of the console. This would be a game changer for charging and docking versatility, allowing players to charge the device in tabletop mode without needing a custom stand or dock. Dual USB-C ports could also pave the way for innovative accessories and third-party support, extending the console's functionality in ways fans have only dreamed of. And then again, well, not again, because I actually saw that earlier. I didn't notice the built-in kickstand. Kickstand that worked, but I noticed it like earlier in the stream. Fans of the original Nintendo Switch often lamented its flimsy kickstand, which felt more like an afterthought than a functional feature. Yeah, I have yet to use that kickstand. And then it appears to have addressed the issue, I combined issue and head together. The issue head on with the sturdier U-shaped kickstand. The new design should make tabletop gaming far more reliable, allowing the console to remain stable even during intense gaming sessions. Powerful specs on the horizon. While the physical features have grabbed most of the attention, the leaked prototypes also lend credence to rumors about the Switch 2's performance. It's widely speculated that the console will include NVIDIA's DLSS technology, enabling higher resolutions and smoother frame rate. There's also talk of ray tracing capabilities, which could bring Nintendo closer to the visual fidelity of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X titles. Then combining the rumors of increased RAM and storage, the Switch 2 could finally bridge the gap between Nintendo's innovative gameplay and the graphical power of its competitor. And what does this mean for fans? If these leaks are accurate, the Switch 2 looks to deliver meaningful upgrades without losing the charm that made the original Switch a runaway success. While Nintendo is yet to confirm these, history suggests the company will maintain a trademark silence until the official reveal. Till then, fans can only speculate and scrutinize every new leak that emerges. So there you guys go. I think we're up to date, at least from what I saw, with what leaks are coming out about the Nintendo Switch. Again, I do like that it's also backwards compatible. I never understood why companies decided not to do that, and now in the end they're going back to it anyway. Like if Sony would have just kept with it, they probably could have. That could have been like one of the features that you could say, "Oh yeah, Sony does that," but they chose not to, which sucks. But in any case, we are here. We are at the main topic, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed again, now to March 20th of 2025. I'm going to read that Park Place's covering of this first. Because they're saying, will this game be the end of Ubisoft? Very well could be. And as I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, Ubisoft has apparently fully accepted the title and mantle of possibly being that AAA company that has no reason crashing and burning, or no problem crashing and burning, as long as it keeps up as long as it goes down with on the ship that is DEI stupid bullshit. So, it has delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows for the second time, pushing its release back to March 20th, 2025, originally set for November 12th of 2024. It's already been past that, and then later moved to February 14th. The game's development continues to be plagued by delays. This could be catastrophic for Ubisoft, and it's possible the company's very survival banks on it, given everything we've seen up until this point, along with a major decline in ongoing public sentiment. It's not looking good for the French developer. So here is the picture. And it says this. Ubisoft's official statement, it framed the delay as a decision to ensure quality. As part of the renewed focus on gameplay quality and engaging day one experiences, it has been decided to provide an additional month of development to Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft said. This additional time will allow the team to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best condition for launch by continuing to engage closely with the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community. The game is now scheduled for March 20th. Increasingly positive. That is just delusion right there. Really, the only way to make, maybe even break even, would be to get rid of Yasuke altogether. I think this game's going to crash and burn. Day one experience quality would be a refreshing change of pace for Ubisoft. Its release of Star Wars Outlaws last year saw a slew of game-breaking bugs and glitches at launch. Things got so bad that PlayStation gamers who paid for early access to the games had their save files wiped by a bug fix prior to the full launch. Wow. I remember reading about that. So Yves Guillemot mirrored this quality sentiment, emphasizing the game's ambition while attempting to soften the blow, saying, "We are all behind our team's efforts to create the most ambitious Assassin's Creed opus for the franchise, or opus, and made the decision to provide an extra month of development to Shadows in order to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months. That will enable us to fully deliver on the potential of the game and finish the year on a strong note." You failed. Finish the year. It's the beginning of the new year. You already failed that. Why even say something as retarded as that? Finish the year. The new year has come upon us, my friend. Gosh. This is Ubisoft's second delay for Shadows, and for a game meant to revitalize the franchise, the optics are troubling. But it's far from the first troubling or concerning report on this title. One of the most contentious aspects of Shadows is its deviation from franchise norms. Unlike previous titles, where historical figures like Leonardo da Vinci, George Washington, and Cleopatra have served as NPC allies offering guidance and missions, Shadows introduced Yasuke, a, quote, historical black samurai, as the playable protagonist instead of an original male Japanese assassin. And this marks the first time Assassin's Creed game has centered on a real-life figure, a decision that has not been well received by all corners of the fan base. Many players feel Yasuke's inclusion is a forced departure from the series' DNA and insulting to the Japanese culture that's supposed to be celebrated in Shadows. This led many to question Ubisoft's motives, given the company's the company's history of delving into identity politics and DEI initiatives within the worlds of its game. Critics argue that Ubisoft has bent historical accuracy to fit modern cultural trends rather than staying true to the franchise's ethos, all to chase social clout and promote specific ideologies. Yep. And the decision to feature Yasuke also alienated many longtime fans who've been clamoring for a feudal Japan setting for over a decade. Many anticipated a more traditional Japanese male protagonist, a samurai, ninja, or assassin rooted in local culture. Instead, their choices left many feeling disconnected from the experience they envisioned. And then combined with delays, these frustrations paint a grim picture. Ubisoft has struggled to maintain trust with its player fan base. or with its player base and controversies surrounding Shadows, have only added fuel to the fire. Financial struggles have been well documented as of late, as that Park Place previously reported. These delays come at a critical time for the French developer. It's experienced a significant decline in market value from $12.17 billion in January of 2021 to $1.78 billion by January 2025, a whopping 85% drop. And at this point, all I can say is suck it, Ubisoft. You want to be the company that goes down in history? By all means. If anything, the burning of Ubisoft and the circus tent being crumbled down and burnt to the ground hopefully will, again, make a ripple. I've stated this before in past streams. Will create a ripple effect like in the Journeyman project when someone alters time to hopefully pull the head out of the asses of other AAA, CEOs and studios, and to finally realize that, you know what, maybe we should stop pandering to these weirdos and just make good games. Because you have this with Ubisoft, Concord failed, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League failed, Dustborn failed. Like, how many retarded shit has to fail? Dragon Age, the Veilguard failed. They thought The Last of Us Part 2 was like, oh yeah, won all these awards, fair and square, won all this shit. So obviously now games that have all that stuff in there will be instantly successful. Nope, because now no one cares about The Last of Us Part 2. And now Kuckerman revealed that his new game that looks like absolute garbage. Now no one's going to, it's going to be like that again. So with debts exceeding $2 billion, oh my gosh, the company is essentially upside down and facing looming threats of buyout or bankruptcy in 2025. If Assassin's Creed Shadows fails, the company could face losses in the hundreds of millions, which would almost certainly spell certain doom. And then, are you surprised, that Park Place asks, that Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed yet again? I'm not surprised. I think they want the game to fail at this point. Like, I will not at all be surprised. Like, well, we're going to go down with the ship, so fuck it. We're delaying it again. Like I said, that Video Game Chronicle has also reported about the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows to incorporate player feedback. But again, what player feedback? Like the ones that actually care and say, yeah, get rid of Yasuke because no one asked for it. Even you claiming to be historically accurate isn't historically accurate. You have stolen flags or whatever. Cherry blossoms blooming at the wrong time. So it's probably just a reiteration of what we just read. It's been delayed to now March 20th. Doing this to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best conditions. Delay comes alongside news that Ubisoft has appointed advisors to review various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options for the business following the year in which its market value has more than halved. All right, there's something new from Video Game Chronicle. And then following the Assassin's Creed Shadows first delay and then the disappointing launch performance of Star Wars Outlaws, its share prices dropped to its lowest point in nearly 11 years. Oh yeah, and then its online shooter X Defiant was discontinued, and 3 studios were closed. Way to go, Ubisoft. Way to not give a shit. According to the reports, this has led the controlling Guillemot family to explore the potential deal that could take the company private. Speaking in a web call on Thursday, Yves Guillemot declined to comment on the reports. And then in Thursday's announcement, Ubisoft said the company would drive significant cost reductions exceeding 200 million euros, I guess. I forget what that one's called. Annually, but it did not specify how it would do so. Guillemot said, "We have to take decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences, enhance operational efficiencies, and maximize value creation. Well, I would say resign immediately. I would say just get rid of, just give up your stranglehold on the company, because clearly you controlling it is causing it to crash and burn. And at this point, people like me don't care, and in fact probably will have a big old grin on my face when the company goes under, because you wouldn't listen to people. Amazing on how you're a company whose goal would be to give a product to the customer, so you should listen to the customer. But instead of listening to them, you listen to a fringed, weird tourist group who does not care about the series whatsoever, and then just say, yeah, fuck it. All because of what Endymion mentions about the George Floyd incident and being like, oh, yeah, we're going to just change everything and base it on that douchebag. Like, yeah, then you are finally reaping what you've sowed, Ubisoft. And people will just laugh at you. Like I said, Niche Gamer also covered it as well. Yeah, they just posted like what was said from the official post. I mean, I guess we could actually read the full wording. Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. Is refine and polish meaning getting rid of Yasuke? Because at this point, that's the only thing that you can do to save this. Since November, we've been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. Each week has brought valuable feedback for our community. Sure it has. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering a high-quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. We know you're eager to learn more about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we're excited to share that more updates will be coming your way very soon. Mark Alexis Cote, on behalf of all teams working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. So there you guys go. That is all I have for today's show. I guess we could look at what this day in gaming. We'll end it by checking out what all games were released today. I kind of took a quick gander, and I really didn't see anything that popped out, although it was just from GameFAQs. So we'll throw that up there. Kabam. Like I have no idea a lot of these. Omega 5, The Shield, the game for the PlayStation 2. What is The Shield? You are Detective Vic Mackey. Experience the gritty recreation of the controversial television hit The Shield. Okay. Like apparently, according to user ratings, they have some pretty good ratings. Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. Geez, how many Kingdom Hearts stuff are there? I have no idea. AO Tennis. I do like a tennis game. I don't know how good it is. Lust Epidemic. Beyond Memories, Darkness of the Soul. Let's see, what else? Oh. Well, Hentai Tales, Sweetie MILF, and Race of Life, Act 1. Get it now on Linux, Macintosh, and PC. This day in gaming, and now we'll do Moby Games because they have a more world list. What do they have? Let's look. Bomberman World. The PlayStation version, United Kingdom. Excuse me. Oh, let's see. Anything that pops out. Anything at all. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, the Steam release worldwide for Windows, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Kind of been wanting to play that game again. It's been a while. I do like me a hack and slash. I didn't ever mind that game. If you want to play Hangover, that came out on January 9th. Wait, Chick-fil-A Delicious Drive? Apparently a browser website for the United States, came out in 2023. If you guys are a fan of Chick-fil-A, maybe that'll be up your alley. Cool. Alrighty, pups. That is all I have for you today. So make sure to give a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube and Rumble. Help push the channel by boosting up that algorithm. And if you want to go beyond helping just push the algorithm, maybe check out membership and subscription tiers over on YouTube and Rumble. I also have a locals. And, you know, in case YouTube or you don't want YouTube, or I think Rumble doesn't take a chunk, but, you know, multiple options. But I'm humbled and blessed that you guys hung out with me regardless. That always helps, and it's always fun to talk about it. And with that being said, let's see who is on today. Ooh, Alex is on over on Rumble. So we'll do a raid on her again. As you can see, I'm very I only watch certain people. Oh, my boy Drunk 3PO. Sailing the seas over on YouTube. Let's go support him. He's awesome. Love Jay. Give him some love back. Alrighty. So with that being said, I'll send you guys over there. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your support. Take care. God bless. We'll continue gaming tomorrow. We beat Tomb Raider 3. So now we can start up a new game. Maybe we'll start up Mario and Luigi Brothership. Also got some X-Men. I was kind of thinking of starting up X-Men 2, Rise of the Apocalypse. I got that game coming. Also got, heard the X-Men Wolverine Origins game is supposed to be really good, like very gory and stuff. So I got that as well. So, but we'll figure out what we'll want to play. Until then, 8 p.m. Central Time is when I'll start streaming, or try to start streaming. Until then, take care. God bless, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.